Okay, welcome everybody. So this is kind of like a crash course on miles hacking in Singapore, because if you want to fly business class for free, then ultimately you need to be racking up credit card miles. Because honestly, you're never ever going to pay for business class flight with cash, because like a flight to Japan itself is going to be like 3K one way already. So if you want to experience business class, honestly the most economical and the most sane way is to optimize your credit cards. And today we have here my credit card route map, and it's mainly divided into 3 categories. So over here we have the new to bank cards, and subsequently we have the cards with high earn rates, which are those that give 4 miles per dollar, and lastly the high income cards. So if you're a student or you're just starting to work or you're self-employed, you will not be able to get any of these cards at first. But what you can do is you can get something called a secured credit card to start building your credit history. The idea behind a secured credit card is basically you're putting in $10,000 as collateral with a bank, and that $10,000 is going to be put into fixed deposit as long as you hold a credit card. So personally for me, I got my first credit card as a secured credit card during uni. So because in uni, nobody had any credit card, so there was literally no incentive for anybody to pay first. And because of that, I thought, why not I get a credit card, and whenever people go out for like meals or drinks together, I'll pay for it first and everybody will pay me back. So essentially, I'm using them to earn me miles. First card I got, it was a UOB KrisFlyer. So there are only certain banks that allow you to get a secured credit card. So if I'm not wrong, the options are UOB or DBS. So if you have like 10K aside when you're a student or you're just starting work and really want to get into the miles game early, so you have that arbitrage. Say for example, you and a bunch of friends are going overseas to like Bali or something, you can book their flights, you can book their hotels and earn a whole bunch of miles on it, and that's basically how I got started. So those cards will allow you to build the credit history, and the banks will subsequently approve to let you get these cards even without any income, and that will kickstart your mile hacking journey. Right now, we are going to talk about the first category of cards, which is the new to bank sign up bonus cards. This is super important that these should be the first cards you get with a specific bank. Say for example, DBS, the first card you should get 100% should be DBS Altitude instead of the high earn rate card, which is the DBS Women's World. Okay, so you see, right, any of the new to bank sign up cards here at most will give you 1.2 miles. Okay, so there are general spend cards that usually give super low earn rates, but what you get in return is a huge sign up bonus. Don't make the amateur mistake of getting the 4 miles per dollar card first, because generally what the banks do is that if they give you a high earn rate card, there's going to be a little to none like sign up bonus at all. And if you're going to get one of these cards first, you're essentially going to be avoiding any of this juicy sign up bonus in the first category. So for example, from this list, the Citi PremierMiles, the mean spend is $800, but you're going to get a 30K sign up bonus. And the Travel One card, it's 1K mean spend, and you're going to get a sign up bonus of 33.6K miles. DBS Altitude, no annual fee, $800 mean spend, sign up bonus is 28K miles. And Stanchart Journey, no annual fee option, mean spend $800, and you're going to get 20K miles. This is as of today, but usually it's roughly around that range. But what you can see is that you're going to be clocking upwards of 20 to 30 miles per dollar just for the sign up bonus. So please don't skip this, because simply 2 sign up bonuses from 2 of these cards will be enough for a one-way flight to Japan. And that is just spending around 1.6K of money that you are already going to spend. So you see, it's actually so simple. We are not even done with the first category and you already clocked your first business class flight. Ridiculous, right? Okay, so now we are going to move on to the next category, which is the high earn rate cards, the 4 miles per dollar cards. Sometimes it gets a little bit confusing because they are very category specific. So I'm actually going to explain how I actually optimize and sort of like simplify the whole process. So personally, these are the 4 cards that I actually actively use in my rotation, on top of maybe some other cards like UOB ladies for specific scenarios like travel. So I'm going to break it down for my daily life. So in-person spend, I normally clock it on UOB PPV because it's one of the rare cards that gives 4 miles per dollar on contactless spend. I reserve it exclusively for contactless use. And also note, this contactless spend only accounts when you tap with Apple Pay or Google Pay or Samsung Pay, and not with the physical card itself. So basically my day-to-day dining, groceries, etc. will be spent on this card. So next, for my online spend, I usually use my Citi Rewards card. So Citi Reward includes all online spend excluding travel up to 1K, 4 miles per dollar. Okay, next card I'm going to be talking about will be the DBS Women's World. So the thing about it is that recently in the last few years, a lot of cards has been cutting travel spend, and luckily DBS Women's World is one of the last cards that still have travel spend available. So it's good news. So usually I will reserve this card for my travel booking. Say if I'm booking like flights or like booking like hotels, I will use the DBS Women's World. Honestly, if you're not a huge spender, these 3 cards is more than enough for you because you covered the contactless in person, so your physical scanning is done. Your online up to 1K over here excluding travel, and your travel bookings with the DBS Women's World is cleared for 1K a month. So basically having these 3 cards in most scenarios is actually okay for your day-to-day life. But I'm also going to talk about some other cards that I have and what exactly I use them for. So the next 4 miles per dollar card will be the HSBC Revolution. So for HSBC Revolution, they are currently having a limited time promo, but for the base case is usually 1K a month on online shopping and like transport. So I normally have it as a default card for Grab rides, so I don't burn a lot of the cap for my Citi rewards, so I can save it for like my bigger online purchases. And next, if you really want to over optimize it, I have 2 more cards that's not on this list, which is firstly the UOB Ladies card. So the UOB Ladies card, I have the base card, which is up to 1K on one specific category. So for the ladies cards, there's actually a couple of categories to choose from, but the category of choice for me will be travel, because as you can see here, a lot of the cards exclude travel spend. HSBC not eligible for online travel. Citi Rewards not eligible for online travel. The only card that's eligible for online travel in this list will be the DBS Women's World card. So basically on the months I have a lot of travel bookings, I'll activate both the UOB Lady and the DBS Women's World card. And another card that's not on this list will be the Maybank XL, and this is a super new card that's launched 1 month ago. And this card is pretty amazing because it gives 4 miles per dollar on foreign currency, travel, dining, entertainment, up to a spending cap of 1K a month, and there's a mean spend of 500. So basically how I position the card is also as a travel spend booster, because I don't think I'll be easily hitting that $500 mean spend every month. But travel bookings, say for example like hotels, Airbnb, is easily going to allow you to clock over $500. And the last point for high earn rate card will be the overseas use case. So how I normally spend overseas will be I will pair my Citi Rewards card, 4 miles per dollar, with Amaze. So Amaze is a card that basically allows you to link another credit card with it. Unfortunately, a lot of other banks like DBS Women's World, etc., they sort of like blacklisted Amaze, so you can't actually link it with Amaze. So Amaze links with a MasterCard like Citi Rewards card. What Amaze does is that firstly it converts the currency from like say euros into SGD, and it also converts it to an online transaction. So what it means that, for example, if I pair the Citi Rewards with Amaze, Amaze basically turns any transaction online, which makes it eligible for Citi Rewards. So for example, if I go to Europe and Italy, I have a bowl of pasta and I scan the Amaze card, which is linked to my Citi Rewards, I will get 4 miles per dollar for it, because it turns the in-person dining into an online dining, which is eligible for the 4 miles per dollar for Citi Rewards. So for my overseas spend, I'll prioritize using my Citi Rewards up to that 1,000. Then I'll probably switch to my Maybank XL. I know some of you guys are going to ask me, say for example, you go to Europe and you're going to buy a luxury bag which is way over 1K. What exactly are you going to do? And that's where the general spend card comes in as a backup. So usually I'll have my DBS Altitude or Citi PremierMiles as standby. In this scenario, say for example, I burst the spending cap on my 4 miles per dollar card overseas, I will default to my DBS Altitude or my Citi PremierMiles for any additional spend after that, because anything above 1K on Citi Rewards, you're going to get 0.4 miles. So anything beyond that, spend it on your general spend cards. For those cards, you're normally going to get like 2.2, 2.3 miles per dollar for foreign currency spend. So it's definitely better than 0.4 miles per dollar. So this is the consolidated breakdown of how I categorize my cards personally. If you find this helpful and want to help me out, I have some referral codes below, and if not, it will just be a direct link for the card. Okay, so with these 2 categories, the new to bank and the high earn rate, you are pretty much almost set for like 99% of your mile hacking journey. And honestly, even though I put the high income here, 99% of you guys probably won't ever use these cards. So these high income cards are for people who earn 120k and above. But the thing about these cards is that the annual fee are not waivable, and they are usually pretty significant. For example, the Amex Platinum charge is 1.7, 1.8k annual fee a year. So the thing about any of these basic cards above, what you can do is that you can always request for annual fee waiver. But that's not the case with the high income cards. High income cards rarely, if not never, give you an annual fee waiver. So unless you have a specific lifestyle need, say for example, you play golf really often, or you fly every week, you need that unlimited lounge access, or you're often staying in like luxury hotels and you want a status match, I don't really see a need for this bracket of cards for most cases for mile hacking. With that being said, I hope you guys learned a lot. I know it might have gotten confusing at several points of the video, but I sincerely hope that this video accelerate your progress to getting your first business class flight, because because for me personally, it was really difficult at the start trying to piece together all the different information. If you learned something from this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to me because I have a lot more amazing content coming up. Happy mile hacking and see you in the next one. Shh.